Perfect. Is the Pope a Catholic? This incident left deep scars. Years later, the Osbournes revealed they'd been robbed a shocking 4 times. But the 2004 home invasion remains the most cinematic and terrifying, the reality of what happened. At the mansion dwarfs the fiction of an FBI raid. There were no feds, but there were real-life cat burglars. A physical struggle in the middle of the night, and a death-defying leap from a window. The real story is always more gripping than the fiction, isn't it? From near-death experiences to fighting off burglars, the true history of the Osbourne homes is a whirlwind. If you're finding this deep dive into what really happened as fascinating as we do, take a second to hit that subscribe button. We have so many more stories like this, separating the viral hoaxes from the documented truth. Your support helps us bring these incredible real-life events to light. Now, back to the story. Because another emergency service had to race to the Osbourne estate, the fire brigade, as if a near-fatal accident and a violent home invasion weren't enough. The Buckinghamshire estate seemed, as a friend of Ozzy's once purportedly said, bloody cursed. Just a few months after Ozzy confronted that burglar, the mansion was once again the scene of a terrifying emergency. This time, the threat came from within. On the night of March 25, 2005, the historic home caught fire. According to reports, Ozzy and Sharon were asleep when smoke alarms started screaming just before midnight. They discovered a fire had broken out and quickly fled the home with their beloved pets, rushing out into the garden. From their lawn, they watched in horror as firefighters battled the blaze, threatening to consume their home. While no one was seriously injured, both Ozzy and Sharon were treated for smoke inhalation. The damage to the property was extensive. The fire department later revealed the blaze was started by heat from a fireplace that had ignited the surrounding wood paneling. This was just another traumatic event to add to the unbelievable timeline of that property. In just 16 months, Ozzy had nearly died there, fought off a jewel thief there, and now had been forced to flee from a fire there. And incredibly, this wasn't their only brush with fire. In January 2013, their Beverly Hills home caught fire because a candle left burning in a glass vase exploded, setting a table and books ablaze. Ozzy tried to put the fire out with his hand, which was already in a cast, and ended up burning off the front of his hair and his eyebrows. The repeated fires, especially the major one at the Buckinghamshire estate, just underscore the stranger than fiction reality of the Osbournes' life. While viral hoaxes invent drama about fake FBI raids, the real-life emergency calls from the Osbourne residences were for genuine crises. Firefighters, paramedics, and police all had to race to an Osbourne home to deal with a real-life catastrophe. So, let's go back to that question burning up the internet. What did the feds find in Ozzy Osbourne's mansion? The answer is still the same. Nothing. It was a lie, a digital ghost story designed for clicks. There was no raid, no shocking discovery, no terrifying truth uncovered by federal agents. But the absence of a fake story doesn't mean there isn't a real one to tell, and the real story is infinitely more dramatic. The truth wasn't hidden in some secret vault for the FBI to find. It was documented in hospital reports, police blotters, and fire department logs. The real emergencies at the Osbourne homes involved the frantic rush of an ambulance after a devastating ATV accident left Ozzy fighting for his life. They involved a terrifying middle-of-the-night confrontation where Ozzy himself tackled a jewel thief, and they involved the blare of smoke alarms as the family fled their historic English manor while it burned. The saga of Ozzy Osbourne's homes is a testament to a life lived on the absolute edge, a life where chaos was a constant companion. Fires, near-fatal accidents, and Hollywood-style heists. These are the documented events that happened behind the gates. The viral hoax may have brought you here, but the truth of Ozzy's incredible, chaotic life is what's truly unforgettable. So, what about you? What's the craziest, most unbelievable true story you've ever heard about a celebrity home? Forget the rumors. We want to know the documented facts that blew your mind. Let us know in the comments below. And of course, for more deep dives into what really happens behind celebrity doors, and for more debunking of the viral stories everyone else is falling for, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. You won't want to miss what we uncover next. Just moments ago, the internet absolutely exploded. Social media is on fire, forums are buzzing, and a story is spreading like wildfire. All asking the same question: what did the feds just find inside Ozzy Osbourne's mansion? Thumbnails are everywhere, showing heavily armed agents, crime scene tape, and the terrified face of the Prince of Darkness himself. Headlines are screaming about a full-scale FBI raid on his legendary estate, promising to reveal a terrifying truth. And in the wake of his recent passing, the story feels even more ghoulish. What dark secrets could have been hidden behind those famous gates? What could possibly warrant a federal investigation of this magnitude? The speculation is running wild, with theories ranging from caches of illegal substances to something far more sinister. For decades, Ozzy was the ultimate survivor, a man who cheated death, battled demons, and lived a life so extreme it became myth. But now, with the world mourning his loss, this story of a final, dark secret is pulling millions. The public is demanding answers, and the story is getting bigger by the second. So, what did the FBI find inside Ozzy Osbourne's mansion? The answer is absolutely nothing, because it never happened. The FBI raid is a complete and total fabrication, a hoax. It's just another piece of viral clickbait, expertly crafted to look real and prey on our curiosity. But here's the thing. The frenzy over this fake story is distracting from the documented, and frankly, much stranger and more terrifying real-life emergencies that actually took place at Ozzy's homes. Forget the fake news. We've dug through official police reports, news archives, and the Osbourne's own harrowing accounts to bring you the true story. While the feds weren't kicking down his door, the gates of his estate were breached by brazen criminals. The grounds were the scene of a near-fatal accident that almost silenced him forever, and the walls themselves were engulfed in flames. You want to know what really happened at Ozzy Osbourne's mansion? You're in the right place. The truth is far more compelling than any rumor. Our story begins, not in Beverly Hills, but at the Osbournes' sprawling country estate in Buckinghamshire, England. The historic property, known as Welder's House, was meant to be their sanctuary, a quiet retreat from the madness of LA. But on December 8, 2003, this peaceful landscape became the scene of a life-or-death struggle. Ozzy, who was 55 at the time, was taking a rare day off. He was busy promoting Changes, a duet with his daughter Kelly that was rocketing up the UK charts. To unwind, he decided to do something he loved, take his quad bike for a spin across the grounds. It was a decision that nearly cost him everything. What happened next was brutal. While riding the powerful ATV, something went terribly wrong. The vehicle hit an obstacle and flipped, crashing down with crushing force. The man who had survived decades of rock and roll excess, who had become a legend for his seeming invincibility, lay broken on his own land. When emergency services arrived, the scene was dire. An initial examination revealed a horrifying list of injuries: a broken collarbone, 8 fractured ribs, and a fractured vertebra in his neck. He was rushed to a nearby hospital for emergency surgery. Doctors found the broken collarbone was pressing on a major artery, and worse, there was bleeding into his lungs. For 8 days, the world watched as Ozzy lay in a medically induced coma. His family, recently famous from their MTV reality show, was now facing the very real possibility of losing their patriarch. Sharon was a constant presence at his bedside, while Jack and Kelly had to face the international media and give updates on their father's precarious condition. Jack confirmed the severity of it all: the broken collarbone, the 8 ribs pinching crucial blood vessels, and the damaged vertebra in his neck. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. It wasn't drugs or a drunken fall from a stage that almost took him out. It was a 4-wheel contraption on a day off. Years later, Ozzy himself would credit his bodyguard, Sam Rustin, with saving his life. He recounted with chilling clarity, "If it wasn't for Sam, I probably wouldn't be here. He had to bring me back to life twice." The accident had been so severe that he had effectively died twice before being stabilized. The road to recovery was long. The accident forced surgeons to insert metal rods into his body and became a pivotal moment in the Osbourne saga. It was a stark reminder that behind the rock star caricature was a husband and father who had come perilously close to the edge. While the internet obsesses over a fake FBI raid, the truth is that local paramedics fought a very real battle to save Ozzy's life right there on his own property. Section 2, the Hollywood heist in the English countryside. If you thought a near-fatal accident was the most drama the Osbourne estate had seen, you'd be wrong. Less than a year later, in the dead of night, their Buckinghamshire sanctuary was violated in the most terrifying way. This wasn't a quiet theft. It was a high-stakes robbery that ended with Ozzy Osbourne tackling a masked intruder. It was November 22, 2004. Ozzy and Sharon were back in the UK. While Sharon was a judge on the they got home late and went to bed, feeling secure on their secluded property. But that security was an illusion. Around 4 a.m., 2 men broke into the mansion. This was a targeted attack. They used a ladder to get to a second-floor window, which led straight to Sharon's dressing room where they knew they'd find jewelry. The noise eventually woke the couple. Ozzy, reportedly naked, got up and stumbled right into one of the burglars. The Prince of Darkness, face to face with a masked man robbing his home. What happened next was pure Ozzy. He charged the intruder, he grabbed the man, and a desperate struggle began. The burglar, desperate to get away from the 55-year-old rock star, finally broke free. He fled to the window and leaped out a staggering 30-foot drop to the ground below. The 2 burglars then vanished into the night. But they didn't leave empty. They stole an estimated £1 to £2 million worth of jewelry, including priceless, sentimental items. Gone were Sharon's 10-carat Tiffany's wedding ring and a 24-carat sapphire ring she called the swimming pool. In the days that followed, a shaken but defiant Ozzy and Sharon held a press conference, offering a £100,000 reward. Sharon spoke about the violation, saying, "We worked for everything. Everything we have got, we have worked our off for." Ozzy added, "It's the sentiment. You can't buy sentiment. He also reflected on how dangerous the confrontation was, acknowledging it could have ended tragically, like the home invasion that targeted George Harrison. When a reporter asked if he'd tackle a burglar again, his response was,